Yo, Philly! 3.5 weeks ago, we launched a brand new Sixers channel here at Chat Sports, and already it's got off to an incredible start. 1,300 subs in that time span, but over the weekend, the Knicks overtook us with subscribers, and we launched these channels at the same time. We can't lose to New York. This is a rivalry, so hit that red subscribe button down below if you want the best Sixers news and rumors right here on YouTube. You're watching our brand new Sixers News and Rumors channel right here on Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Senior. Give me a follow on Twitter and IG at Chase_Senior. Grew up in Westchester, went to Temple, been a Sixers fan since birth. Here's what we're getting into on today's show. We got to talk about Tyrese Maxey because his performance in the Las Vegas Summer League has drawn rave reviews, and he's really getting recognition nationally. Maxey played really well in a couple games in Las Vegas. He has since left Las Vegas because he wanted to host a camp in his hometown of Garland, Texas. The Athletic named him to the Too Good for Summer League team, and ESPN listed him as a Summer League standout. And it's easy to see why, because Maxey displayed so much explosive ability on the offensive end of the floor, and that was somewhat predictable considering what he did in spurts last year with the Sixers, but also what he did in that second-round series against the Atlanta Hawks. We're looking at a young, dynamic offensive player who has so much wiggle, can shake you down and break you down off the dribble, has an awesome handle, but his offensive arsenal has continued to grow and get better, and he's really developed into a very talented three-level scorer who can get to the rack and finish amongst the trees, knock down some mid-range pull-ups, but his three-point game in the Summer League, of course in a short sample size, looked to be much improved from his rookie year. I've thought about this a lot over the last couple of days. I am a Tyrese Maxey truther. I'm so high on this prospect. And the more that I think about it, with these Ben Simmons trade rumors circulating, with him possibly being included in a trade for Damian Lillard, the more I've come to this conclusion. If I'm Daryl Morey, I'd be very hesitant in trading Tyrese Maxey. And in fact, I don't think I would include Maxey in a deal if the Portland Trailblazers wanted him to be the final piece to get a deal done for Dame. I'd almost rather just trade Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum straight up and ride into the future with a backcourt of Maxey and McCollum. That's how special I think Tyrese Maxey is. Of course, Damian Lillard is a generational player, an all-time scorer, so to not pull the trigger on a guy like that would be incredibly difficult. And maybe I'd be swayed in the thick of negotiations. But I honestly believe that Maxey can be a superstar for the Sixers moving forward. I talked about the Athletic giving Maxey recognition for some of the best players during the Las Vegas Summer League. Here's what they had to say in that story. Maxey was the best scorer at Summer League in his 2 games, a downhill guard who got wherever he wanted at all times. Anytime he caught the ball with the defender looking to close out on him, he attacked that player's front foot and got into the paint with ease. They continued by saying this: Maxey just looks very ready to play for a contender as a scorer off the bench, and he'll get that opportunity for Philadelphia. Whether or not he takes the next step beyond that into a starting caliber combo guard will be dependent on where the shooting settles. He made only 4 of his 14 three-point attempts, although most of them came on pull-ups. And Maxey was one of the highest scoring players in the Las Vegas Summer League. And what have the Sixers needed over the last couple of years? They have been bereft. They have been missing a guard who can do it all from a scoring standpoint at getting buckets and finding twine from every place on the court, but also a guy late in games who you can turn to. You can turn the keys over on the offensive end of the floor and say, do your work. You had that for a short amount of time with Jimmy Butler. And I think you have it with a young, affordable asset right now in Tyrese Maxey. He's shifty. He's got that wiggle that I talk about. And I really like his defensive prowess, too. That second-round series against the Hawks last year, I thought he did a hell of a job against Trae Young. And everything that Maxey continues to say, both during his rookie campaign as well as this offseason, about the want to improve his game, when you compare that with Ben Simmons, is something of note. What he said to the rest of the rookies, where he basically mentioned there are no days off if you want to become a legit NBA player. The mindset is there. The mentality is there for this guy to succeed in the pressure cooker that is Philly. But the game is there, and the potential is there for this guy to be an all-around stud. So if the Blazers hit up Morey and they're like, we need Tyrese Maxey in this deal, let's say alongside Ben Simmons as well as Matisse Thybulle to bring you Damian Lillard, Morey is going to have a very difficult decision to make because I think Maxey is a budding star. I think he could end up being a top 10 player in the 2020 draft class, and that's a steal considering where the Sixers got him in the 20s. So let me ask you this. If you had to include Maxey in a deal for Dame, would you do it? If he was the final piece to get that trade done, type T for trade, type P for pass, get those votes in the comment section down below. ESPN also heaping praise on Tyrese Maxey, saying this among the handful of second-year players who look like they have no reason to be playing Summer League basketball, Maxey leads the list. Less than 2 months ago, he scored 16 points off the bench to help the Sixers win a playoff game against the Hawks and force a deciding Game 7 at home. So it's no surprise that he was overwhelming opponents at this level of competition. In 58 minutes, Maxey scored 52 points in the Las Vegas Summer League, averaging 26 per game, the highest of anyone in Vegas before heading home to host a youth camp. Without him, a Philadelphia squad that started 2-0, lost by 20 on Saturday to the undefeated Boston Celtics. Here's another thing, too, on Maxey. We had so much hope for Markelle Fultz when the Sixers drafted him number 1 ahead of Jason Tatum. And yes, throw salt on the wound because it certainly hurts now to look at the player that Tatum has become, and Fultz isn't even on the roster anymore. But Maxey, with the shiftiness, the creativity, the little bit of wiggle, the step back and sidestep threes, him as an offensive orchestrator and creator, is everything that the Sixers thought Markelle Fultz would be. So let's get over that depression of Fultz, and let's just be happy with Tyrese Maxey. Keep him on the roster because I honestly think if he is your starting point guard without Simmons on the roster this upcoming season, this is a guy with shot volume could average around 20 points per game.